going to make this a quick video because some of you have asked where I get the printed templates that you can position your designs with and try them out where you're going to put them on your clothing and stuff. And usually when you buy a design, it will come with a template, either a PDF document or maybe a JPEG file or something. If your design does not include that, and I'm seeing more and more, especially when I get designs on Creative Fabrica, they don't have templates a lot of times. So that's kind of frustrating. I wish that they were just included, but if they're not, let me show you how you can print your own. We're going to get some free software from Dime to do this. It's their embroidery toolshed. You can use other free editors that are out there to print templates with. This is not the only way, but this is a very easy software to use, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. First of all, you go to the Dime website to get the software, and you go up to their software here and click on Free Embroidery Toolshed. And that brings up the Embroidery Toolshed product, and then you just go ahead and say download software if you're in USA or Europe or Europe, whatever. And it will run on a Mac. You have to, there's special requirements though, and there's special software you got to use for a Mac, but it will work. So you just download it, and then once it's downloaded, you double click that file and it runs through a whole like installer process. Very simple. I'm not going to show you how to do that, but once it's installed on your computer, then you go ahead and pull it up. And once you've got your software installed, you just double click on the icon and it opens up the Embroidery Toolshed software on your computer. And right now, nothing is really showing. I like that these tools are nice and colorful. I may have more tools than you would have in the free version because I do have some extra things installed. Over here, it would actually tell you if you've purchased extra software from them. Those all show up within the Embroidery Toolshed, so it's very convenient that way, but we're not going to use any of those. I'm just going to open a file. You can either use this little open folder looking thing, or you can go to File and say Open. My drop-down menu is not showing, but that's okay. So we're just going to click on the Open folder, and that's going to take me to my computer desktop and say, hey, what file do you want to open? And I just choose one that I've already got queued up. Let's pull in this little lamb. And there he is. He shows up in the software. And in order to get a template printed for this design, you just go up here and you can say print. And it pulls up a print preview of what's going to print. And keep in mind, up here at the arrow, there is a page 2, which is your color chart. So it's going to print 2 different pages on my printer. And then there we go, that's it. And hit the printer icon and it will send it to whichever printer you tell it. And my computer popped up with my printer window, which it's not actually showing up here, but you don't have to change anything there, and that's a good thing. You don't have to change settings. Just go with their default settings and print it. And then it's going to send that to my printer and print a full-size template of what that little design is going to look like with the crosshairs. And then once you've got your paper printed out, you can just cut out that template with the crosshairs and then position it on whatever it is you want to embroider on and figure out where you want to put that design. I also like to fold my templates in half, and then I can figure out where to put my placement sticker. And then when I get that over to my machine, I just center the needle over that placement sticker, and that works really well too. So it's a much faster way of placing things exactly where I want them to embroider. I'm not going to do a whole video right now about how to use Embroidery Toolshed. If you want to know more, you can ask me about it. But a couple of things you might be interested to know about it is you can do things like, you might not know how big is this. Oh, this little icon over here that looks like a hoop. You can choose whatever hoop sizes you have. There's a huge list, all the different makes and models. So let's just put a 4x4 hoop on there. And now you can see this is going to fit my 4x4 hoop. You could do things like a simulation. I always think that the machine should be, that's actually, if you could like have Wi-Fi, you can send it to your machine. This would be the stitch simulator, and press the arrows over here and it'll actually show you, let me speed it up. It shows you how the design is going to stitch out on your machine, which is really cool. You can even see like the colors up here across the top. There's a bunch of different colors, and that shows how long each one takes. So if you've never actually played with a stitch simulator, it's kind of mesmerizing. It's fun to watch for a while. I've seen so many of these when I'm digitizing that I'm kind of sick of looking at them, but you might love this. So you can play around with that. That's part of the free software. Let's see what else. And of course you can also do things like, let me get out of this. You can do things like rotate your design. Oop, I have to select it. And that really confused me in the beginning. just I'm clicking my mouse button and then dragging a box around to make sure my design's selected. You could also go over here on the side and select it. And then you can do things like rotate your design. You can flip it if you need to reposition on your machine. Your machine is going to usually have controls like this too. So I typically don't use them in software. I'd prefer to use them at the machine so I can see it better. But that's up to you. You can do, whatever you want there if you're adding lettering or something like that. So, and like I said, there are a bunch of different plugins that you can get. I'm currently playing with one called Embroidery Special Effects, which has a lot of fun things you can do. If you're into quilting, you can digitize some of your own quilt designs. There's the pet applique one's really cute too. So check those out. I'm not going to get into detail on that, but it's cool that everything that you purchase for digitizing would actually fit into this free editor that you already have, and you can learn to use just the editing stuff, and then as you grow, you can purchase more modules and learn them slowly at your own pace, not have to figure out like this huge digitizing program all at once. So I also like that. I think it's very user-friendly, and it's perfect for printing your templates. It's very easy. There's hardly any settings to have to deal with. I just showed you in a couple minutes how easy that is to do. So that's how you print a template to position on your project. Hope that made sense to you, and that's all I got. See you later, folks.